Hi everybody, Jules with Jude here. We're going to do the tricolor blend, the Skinner blend that we've been talking about. We're going to actually make something today. This here is a pendant that is made from a very similar cane as this one right here. Okay. And also this right here. And they all come from the same cane. Just different stages of the cane. And we're going to start to work with one of these today. And I am going to start from the beginning of the blend, and I'm going to move swiftly through that hopefully. And then what we will do after that is we will proceed to make some pendants, or a pendant actually. So if you've been watching, then now is the time we're going to be producing. So we offset this one color here. Okay, this is our dark blue, by the way. Our light blue. We can cut that in half. Make sure your blade is down the right way. I don't want to get cut. Okay. We're going to offset this white. Offsetting, you see what I mean by that. Does not come to a point here. And that should make a very strong white on one side, blue on the other, and we have a light blue in the center for our blend. Yeah, okay, I'll put you up there like that. We're going to do it this way. Go back a little bit. And once you get to hang of this, you'll see that we are going to go right back to being a square. And this blue is just a little, this light blue is just a small tad short. And we're just going to do a little stretch out for that. Okay, I'm going to shore up my ends. Okay. We have our square. Hopefully this is all in. Chuck set me up and took off in the other room. So here we go. Now the next stage or step is just going to flip this around. I think we all remember this in one of the videos, the tutorials I did earlier. And we're going to put it through our number 7, the thicker one. And you don't need to see me do that because you've already seen that and you already know how to do it. You want to do your thickest setting and you want to go through as straight as possible. Because this blend we want to try to stay in color as much as possible. Now it's going to be impossible practically. I wouldn't say impossible, but it's going to be difficult not to get some blending in there. So there we go. Look at that. Our lines are straight and we're just going to continue to keep moving forward and not to let it expand across the pasta machine too far. We don't want it too wide and we want to get it to a certain blend, and then we will begin the process of making it into a cone. And as we do that, I believe they call them tubes. There's a couple different names for them. But you are going to see exactly how it works. And it takes a couple of tries going through. That was my phone. I didn't shut it off. Sorry about that. Okay. It's getting there. Let's make sure we're not too far off. We don't want to get too sloppy by working too quickly. But this is the Tricolor Skinner Blend by Judith Skinner. And as you can see, we're getting to be very white, very blue, and a very nice blend in the center. I'm going to do it one more time, making sure always that our white is white and our blue is blue as we send it through the machine in the same direction. Now, we finished that. And what we're going to do is shore up these ends. There we go. Always making sure our blade is down, because if you don't have a piece of tape or a plastic attachment on the sides, you could get mixed up and cut yourself very badly. Now, we have a terrific start. That's what you're looking for. We're going to push our ends together. Excuse me. See how that works? And we're going to put it in our pasta machine down. Previously, it was going through this way. Now it's going to go through this way, and we're going to go gradually down. We're going to start at 7, and 7 is my thickest, everyone. Just remember what your thickest is. Different machines, different numbers. Don't ask. Okay, next one. I like to go down gradually. But if you already know what your clay and your machine can handle, you by all means go jump forward. But I like to do gradual because I like to see how it's coming along, and it seems to be coming along quite well, actually. And I'm going to only probably go down 1 or 2 more, and that's it. I don't see the need to go down any further. I don't need it super thin. And I don't want it to get distorted. So there we go. Now we have the start of our blend. If you watched the previous tutorial, you'll see that I like to cut it a certain way. And we're going to fold this over very gently to try to make sure that there aren't any bubbles. Air bubbles. Okay. Push it down, squeeze it out a little. Push your sides in. This is one that we want to get as precise as possible. Okay. There, you might be able to see better now. Push in. We're going to try to keep it the same size as much as possible. Okay. Gently, we're in no rush. The clay will not dry. The toaster oven will still be there, which is what I use. You can use your regular oven, and you're always going to bake according to your clay maker's suggestion on the package. Now, if I hadn't already told you, I used white, I used a light blue, and a dark blue. Okay, that's like a bubble getting ready to happen, right? I got down this far. I'm going to cut this off because I don't really like the way it's widening out there. It's a little too wide. Okay, I want to show you how to make this. Okay, let me fix this a little bit here. It doesn't have to be this precise, but this is kind of important. So try to get it as close as you can to it. Now, there's a way, I have my blade like this, and there's a way that you get a little slant on the side down here. Okay? And take that edge off. And when you do that, it makes it easier for you to blend that edge in, which is what we're doing right now. And just going to blend it in a little bit. Okay? I'm going to roll just a tiny, tiny bit. The key here is distortion. When we cut this, we don't want it to be too distorted. And we will want to cut it as precise as possible in equal amounts. All I can say to that is do your best, because it's not going to be easy, especially the first couple times. In fact, I'm going to stand up and do this so that I can see a little bit better and hope for the best. Now I'm going to do a seesaw effect double check, make sure my blade, the sharp end is going down. Okay. Seesaw. That helps it from not squishing too much. And now it goes very down. I like to pull it out like this. All right, now I'm going to turn it the other way, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. And I'm going to hope with all my little heart here that it comes out equal. At least as much as possible. And you'll see my seesaw. A little bit more seesawing. The other one went. There we go. Okay. Now when I open this up, I have some 4 fairly equal pieces. Now, I'm going to take my wipey. I call them wipies, baby wipes. I'm going to clean my hands because this is going to get some blue on it and I'm going to have to clean again. Now, if you watched the previous video, we did this. We pulled up the blue a little bit, the dark blue, and mix a tiny bit in with the white and the light blue. Okay? We're going to place that down like that. I'm going to do this again. Do it over here. Okay? This is where the real stuff is. You can see that there's a couple pieces that could have been pushed in a little tighter up there in the white, but I'll be honest with you, when you see what I'm going to do next, it's not going to matter very much. It's all going to get squeezed together, okay? And that's one thing we want to make sure we do. We're trying not to mix too much of that dark blue in with the white, at least not at this moment. So we're going to turn that in a little bit so that we don't have too much of that creeping up through the white. Okay, now what we have is 4 pieces that we want to get kind of smushed together, and that is the most technical term you will get on this process. Now, because I've been playing with the blue, I want to keep messing with my wipey, okay? Because I don't want my white to be blue. I want it to be white. I want that dramatic, and that one is trying to sneak up on me in the center there. And push it down. I'm going to get that white over top of it. If it kills me, there we go. Now what we're doing here is we're getting a point made with the white. We want a white point, and then we want to push this blue over, and we're going to make it, we're making a triangle. And I hope you can see. Now I want to make sure I don't get too much blue on the white. I can't stress that enough. Now I'm going to lift this up off my glass, and I'm going to start to push the sides down to make triangle. Okay? See how some of that blue snuck up there? Let's get some of that down. It's alright if it's the light blue because it's a blend. And you just have to practice. I'm still practicing myself. You see how that is creeping up there? No, no, no. Nope. Let's push you back down a little bit. And that's going to be, there we go. See the white? That's what we want. We want that white up there. We don't want that blue. And it's important because we are doing a kaleidoscope and we want it to measure out, you know, close. We want our design to look really pretty, and we want it to look equal, and we want it to look like you're looking through a kaleidoscope machine. And one of those little toys that we had when we were growing up. It's kind of cool. All right, now there's a lot of pushing. I'm going to flatten out my ends. Now, you'll see it's not quite done yet, but if you can see that, you'll see that where we're getting. Check your fingers. If they're not too bad, that's good. Now bring this up to a point right here as much as possible before we turn it again, because we're going to turn it on its sides and get this flattened out very nicely. Okay. There we go. And we push. There's a lot of that pushing. There we go. All right. Bring out that bond. See that? Make that into that. And our white is, it's pretty good. The side's got a little bit creeping up there. And I'm going to final it up here before I cut it. And twist it. Okay? I know it's repetitive, but you really do want to get this to this point, because that's not really looking that bad. All right, here we go. First cut. Voila. See that? Pretty cool, huh? All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to put our triangles like that. All right. And we're going to bend them over to make another triangle. Okay. Very much like this. And now, if you follow this piece by piece, you'll be fine. But keep in mind, the one that I learned this from, you know, which is about 60, I couldn't even tell you. I'll have to start writing them down to give them credit, because there's so many of them out there. And I kind of just keep watching and putting them together and trying my own thing. So if you don't get the exact result, that's fine. It's really all about doing your own product anyway. It's not really so much. It's like just the simple procedure of how something like this might come together is really all you want to learn. You don't want to learn exactly how someone's design is. Now, some of them look really cool, and I gotta admit to you, I look at those and I'm like, man, I want that exact one. But now I'm going to cut this again so you guys can see. All right. That is cool. Tell me that's not cool. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. This gets a little bit more complicated, but not much, okay? Now, you see we have it just like that. So we're going to turn it down like this, okay? And then flip it over like this. And then we're going to make it into a square. Okay? So that's what our next deal is. I'm going to make it into a square, pushing it down, just like this. Okay, and sometimes I use a little plastic block like this, and it helps me out a little bit. I just do a little bit of rocking. I don't know that they use this on that particular one, but it kind of cuts out some of the, you know, pushing and squeezing. You just got to be careful with these that you don't distort your lines too much, because then it's just going to look like a really swirled up piece, and that's fine. I mean, I've done these. I've been trying to practice, and I end up with not the product I wanted, or the design, but I ended up with a really cool looking design. So when I break this open and show you how and what we're going to do next. I think you'll understand there's the difference between a really cool design and a kaleidoscope design. At least that's my hope. If not, we're going to have a really cool design. That's going to be our choices, guys. But nonetheless, we're having a lot of fun, and you're going to end up with a gorgeous piece no matter what. So, and that's important. I need you to understand that. And I'm going to stop probably after this one combination. But I want you to know that in the future, I'm probably going to show you how you can go even further to make it even, the pattern even more complicated. And really make your head spin if this hasn't already. So what we're going to do is we're going to try our best to cut this in half again. And now we have this. Okay? And you still haven't figured out what the heck are we doing with this stuff? How do we make this into a pendant? And I'm about to show you how. So have no fear. Okay? I'm only doing gentle now because I really don't want to distort that too much. Okay? But I am reducing. What is reducing? Reducing is squeezing and pulling just a little bit. And it's done in a way that does not distort your clay. I think that rhymes. I'm going to go like this. Okay. And this. Now, I want you to look closely at this. Again. Because we're about to cut it in little pieces. The next thing you're going to want to do, and I'll be honest, I kind of love this little piece here. You should let it set. Okay, and I'm going to do the best I can by not letting it set so that we don't delay the video. Okay. It looks pretty good. It doesn't look very distorted. So what I want you to do is we have tons and tons and tons of scrap clay here. And that's what this is. Actually, it looks like a very nice piece. I could blend it together more and make a light blue and use it in another blend. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it as my back to my pendant. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I want to put this on a piece of parchment paper. Okay? Because I know it's not going to stick. It's going to stick really hard, and I'll put pressure on it in a few minutes. And I don't want that to do that because I want to be able to take it from here to my toaster oven and bake it once I get to that point. Okay? So now we have these pieces here. So, and we have a piece of scrap. Roll it out on number 7, your thickest part. It's the back. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You may want a plain white. You may want a plain black. You may want this type of blue. It's going to be all up to you. But it's a number 7. It's a scrap piece. Looks something like that. I'm going to move it aside a little bit. And what I'm going to do, and this is going to be hard because of the direction that I'm going to be doing it in. So I'm going to do my best. I might stand up. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to cut these in equal squares as possible. Okay. I'm hoping my blade is proper. Yes, it is. Okay. And as straight down as possible. Okay. We do not want pieces that are not even. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. It's easier said than done. But you can practice. And if you have scrap clay, practice cutting. See, that was a little bit short. Okay? Practice. All right. That's most of the cane. And I want to explain to you, you do not have to do the whole cane. You can take as many pieces as you think it might take for you to complete one pendant, 6 pendants. I mean, depending on your size, your cutters, your, you know, however. All right, now, I want you to see that piece there. I'm going to place that piece right here, okay? All right, and I'm going to take my next piece and I'm going to match it. And I have to see, is this going to be my match right here? I believe it is. I believe I'll be fine with that. See that? And once I have all my pieces together, now I can go like this, which I think would be awesome. Look at that. It's not that complicated, guys. We can do this. I've been learning. You guys can learn. It's so much fun. And want to talk about addicting? Just ask my class members. They're enjoying it thoroughly. Now, the thing is here, we want to make sure that this boots up properly. See that? It's got a little bit of a gap in it, so I'm going to gradually push that together to see how far I can get that. Now, ooh, I'm going to split them up too much. Now we have this. Let's see if you can see that. That's the bottom piece. And this is a shorter one. I got them a little mixed up a little bit. Sorry about that. And voila. Voila. And that's all I'm going to do on this one. I don't want to use them all my pieces up. I want to show you how to do the rest of this. I'll put my pieces over there. I can make beads with them, earrings with them. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to varnish this a little. This is, again, parchment paper. You can use, I've seen them calling it deli paper. And I'm gently smoothing out the clay with my finger. It's taking some of my fingerprints out. It's, you know, it's really working. Now, here's my acrylic roller. When you roll your acrylic roller like this, it's called varnishing. And that's what I'm doing. I want to varnish. And I have fairly thick pieces going on here. So, it's not really that bad, but I want you to notice, see how we did. We didn't do too bad. Most things look as though they're joined together, and we can push them together just a tiny bit. A lot of times if you have let me reach over here and get my tool. There we go. Just want to gently do that. I can also use this side and go just move a little bit together, okay? But just remember our pattern. So don't go crazy with trying to put your ends together. They're going to come together, especially after we varnish them enough. They'll come together. Now, this is a bit of a vigorous little technique I'm doing here, but I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the clay. Okay? There we go. We're getting there. Let's varnish down here a little bit. It's not a quick process, and that's why I want you guys to have your blends ready before we do a project, and or at least pause your video and create your blends, and then pick the video up where we start. It's going to be gorgeous, guys. So what I'd like to do is I still like to feel around with my fingers. You can feel the bumps. Just smooth it gently. It looks fast and it looks hard, but I'm not. I'm doing it gently right above paper. And I want to feel it again. Okay, everybody, we got cut off on that last piece. I want to show you what the end result was. That was it. I'm going to show you how I got to it very briefly with this piece over here. Now, you got all the way up to the point where we were looking at a piece very similar to this. And we're going to splice this together, so it's going to might be a little bit jarred there towards the end, but you're going to be able to see what I did. And this is kind of what I did. We already varnished it. We already did everything very similar to that, and we laid over top of this. This may be the part that you messed up a little bit. You missed it. And this is what I want you to see. Now, this is not deli paper. This is not parchment paper. This is plastic paper. This is your plastic wrap. Okay? And at that point, basically what we did was we placed the cutter over top of our clay. The reason why we did this is because what it does when you use this wrap is it makes this very round edge. Okay? And that's why we use it. And then we can put it in the oven from there. So let me show you real quick. Just like this. Well, this one happened to come all the way out, of course. It does not always come all the way out, but it cut right through the paper. And if the paper gets stuck, you just take it off like that. And there you go. See that? Thank you, guys.